Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Danny Tech back again with another video on CCNA topics that you will need to know to pass this test. So today we're going to be talking about VLANs. VLANs are an important concept to grasp. This is covered in the network access portion of the exam, where you need to learn how to configure and basically understand VLANs in the network and how they communicate. So today I have a simple lab here today where we're going to be setting up VLANs, and to be able to understand VLANs, you first need to understand what a LAN is. A LAN is a local area network, which means there are a group of computers that are connected and that are able to communicate with amongst each other. And this basically creates what's known as a broadcast domain, where all computers can speak to each other, but the traffic is basically just on that physical device, and it can only speak to the physical devices that are connected to that LAN or to that switch and or router. With VLANs, which are virtual local area networks, you're able to take a switch and segment it up into multiple broadcast domains by configuring each port to communicate to the VLAN of your choice, basically. That way it'll have its own default gateway, and it can still communicate to the other broadcast domains on that same device, or if you want to segment it off to where it doesn't speak to the other broadcast domains, you can configure it that way as well. And this is used to basically as a means of a security purpose, and to eliminate necessary broadcasts on the network. So sometimes you don't want a let's say this is the HR department here, and this can be accounting, and let's say this is the IT department here. Yeah, let's say that's the IT department there. And you don't want the information that is basically on these on the network to reach other departments unnecessarily. So if you have the HR department and they're managing let's say sensitive information, you wouldn't want the accounting team or the IT department to have access to that information that way. That's the reason why the computers on the network are segmented off into different VLANs. So today we're gonna go ahead and speak about one of the ways that we can configure VLANs on the network. So I have this document here to assist with that. So today I used the Cisco 4300, I want to say is the router, yeah, 4331 router. To be able to get this lab to work, I had to add this module here, the GLC-TE, to this port here, which is gigabit 0/0/2. That way we can, this module basically allows you to connect an Ethernet cable to that port. So if you are trying to replicate this lab at home, you just keep in mind that you will have to use that module. if you want to follow this lab. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the configuration. So the first port we want to go ahead and configure is going to be port 000. So like we spoke about in the last lab, to be able to get into privileged exec mode, we need to enter enable. And then to be able to configure anything, we need to go ahead. Well, let me go ahead and show you that none of the IP addresses are configured yet. So we'll go ahead and go show IP interface brief. As you can see, no IP has been assigned. They're all stating unassigned. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do conf t and get into the interface gigabit 000. To do so, we'll go ahead and hit the command interface G0/0/0. That gets us into that interface, and that is shown by basically the router showing us that we are in the configuration mode of the interface IF. So there we'll go ahead and set the IP address to 192.168.10.1. and the subnet mask is going to be /24, and that subnet mask is going to be a 255.255.255.0. And this is basically, on this interface, is going to be the default gateway for VLAN 10. So anytime a computer in VLAN 10 wants to speak to a computer outside of VLAN 10, basically is going to need to speak to the default gateway. So we'll go ahead and hit a no shut on there, and that brings that that interface up. And we'll go ahead and just set the other interfaces up. So we'll go ahead and jump to gigabit 0/0/1. I didn't receive an error, as you can see here. So that means that I successfully entered that command. So we'll go ahead and set the IP address to 192.168.50.1, and that's going to be for VLAN 50. We'll do a no shut there, and brings that that interface up. And then we're going to set the interface gigabit 0/0/2, and set that for VLAN 30. So the IP address is going to be 192.168.30.1, also with the /24 subnet mask. And do a no shut on that, and boom, we have all of our interfaces configured. So now what we need to do is set the manually set the IP addresses to these computers, because without it they won't be able to communicate. So PC1 is going to be in VLAN 10. So we're going to go ahead and set that IP address to 10.10 /24 subnet mask, and then we'll go ahead and set the default gateway to that gigabit 0/0/0 interface IP address that we just configured. All right, and then we'll just move along. I'll go ahead and fast forward this, that way this video can be a little bit shorter, because this is a more simple lab. We're not going to be setting up any trunking links. The next video that I do is going to talk about trunking, but we'll talk about that later in the video. So I'll go ahead and I'll fast forward this. All right, so we have that all set up. All of these computers have an IP address. We can go ahead and verify by going to command prompt and doing an ipconfig /all. And it shows us that we have the IP address, our default gateway, and also our subnet mask. And from here, we want to go ahead and show that we're able to communicate on the network. So we're going to go ahead and ping our default gateway. That way we can show that we have connectivity. And this is going to be on VLAN 50. So we'll go ahead and ping 192.168.50.1, which is our default gateway. Perfect. We're able to communicate. Now let's go ahead and see if we're able to communicate outside of our network or our virtual LAN. So I'll go ahead and now ping VLAN 10's IP address. I'm sorry, PC1 in VLAN 10's IP address. So that's going to be 10.10, and we'll probably lose one of the pings due to the ARP process. But as you can see, we're able to communicate. Now, the reason we lose one of the pings is because of the ARP process. So basically, our packet gets to our default gateway, and from the default gateway or the router interface, it'll send out a broadcast stating, "Hey, does anybody know where this this IP address lies?" And it has to basically send the ping up, sends it out, so we lose one of the packets in that process. But once the switch replies, or the machine replies, you can see that we get a ping or reply back from that machine. So now, as you can see, we do have basically some clutter here or connections that are unnecessary, basically. So we have 3 different connections just because we have 3 different broadcast domains. So now, for us to be able to minimize or maximize our space on these routers, because these routers don't have that many inputs, we can do what is called trunking, and trunking allows us to use one interface, and allows us to basically allow the multiple VLANs to traverse through that link. But that's done with the trunking configuration. As of right now, we just have a simple VLAN configuration going on, where we segmented this one physical switch into 3 different LANs, or virtual LANs, without the need of basically purchasing a whole nother switch to do this. So hopefully this was a little bit helpful. Our next video, which is going to be on trunking, we're probably going to use this same topology. We're going to eliminate the 3 connection points, and we'll just use one connection point, and we'll go over how to basically set up a trunk. That way it minimizes the amount of ports that are utilized on this router. And basically that's what you would probably see out in the real world. You'll see trunk links. And yeah, that is basically this short video. I just wanted to go over VLANs, virtual area networks, what they're used for, how to configure them. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Go ahead and drop a follow if you like what you saw. Also, let me know what I can do better on these videos to explain a little bit more of what you would like to see. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Peace out.